Police have it all figured out, haven't they? What's your theory? No. Sorry, kid. But you gotta get hold of yourself. Here, sis.
I don't smoke.
You don't smoke? You know, it's little items like that sometimes have set a whole apple cart. If you're telling me the truth. Now, maybe I can help you.
Nobody can help me now.
Well, then what have you got to lose? Come on now, tell me all about it. No? All right, then I'll tell you. You check me where I'm wrong. To the sweetest daughter in the world, Daddy. It was quite a jolt when they arrested him, wasn't it? He doesn't look like a thief.
He's not a thief.
You never doubted him, did you? You knew he was innocent before he told you. But if he didn't crack that Winslow safe, then who did? Must have been Winslow himself, huh? So you decided to make him admit it, only you lost your head and shot him,
No,
right?
I didn't. I tell you, I didn't. I was half crazy and I took Dad's gun. I thought it might scare him into telling the truth. But when the time I just couldn't do it. He took the gun away from me and said if I go home like a good girl, he'd forget all about it.
Was he smoking?
I think so. Yes, I'm sure he was.
But you didn't? Not even one cigarette?
I don't smoke. You don't believe me, do you? You think I killed him, but I didn't, I swear I didn't.
Please, stop eating your gums. Let a fellow think. Look, baby, I think I can get you out of this if you'll do exactly what I say. Now, unpack, that's the first thing. This is practically a written confession. And just sit tight until you hear from me. It won't be too long.
How can I thank you?
Remember this, baby. Whatever happens, no matter what you think, I'm still in your corner. So keep your chin up. Police headquarters? Give me Captain Leggett, please. Hello, Fatso. Wake you up? My. What? Well, I have some news for you. You know that old guy you're holding for the Winslow safe job? Well, that brunette you're looking for is his daughter, Phyllis Carrington.
You call that news? We've known that since the inquest.
You have?
Looks like you're the one that's been sleeping, Jerry, my boy.
But have you found her yet? Well, I have. She's at 321 East 87th Street. Yeah. Book her for murder.
Hello, Sharon. Have you seen the papers? Well, what are we going to do? You can't let an innocent girl... I can't talk now. Come in.
Hello, Mason.
Hello.
Aye. Oh, you've seen the good news, huh? I just left Leggett and the DA. Thought you might like to hear some of the details. Here.
Thanks. Look, I'm kind of busy right now, if you don't mind.
Oh, not at all. I'll catch you later, huh? Oh, before I forget, how would you like a grandstand seat at the big show? Got a promise of 2 seats right on the aisle.
I'll have to sit with the witnesses at the trial.
Try? Well, that's only a formality. I mean the big show up the river, the execution. being a partner and pal of the man she killed, I thought perhaps you'd like to be there.
How can you be sure they'll convict her? Nice-looking young girl like that. You never can tell with juries.
If that baby gets off, brother, I'll turn in my license. Why, the crazy little fool admits crashing in here with a gun on her, and just about the time the cops say Winslow was bumped. Now, any way you add it up, that little lady's going to get it. The jury won't be out 5 minutes. And then the death house, watching the clock tick it off. That's the worst part, they tell me, the waiting. Why, even some of the toughest guys get so hysterical, I sometimes have to carry them into the chair, slobbering like babies. Now, this will be my first time watching a pretty girl get the juice. I guess she won't look so pretty with
For
a head.
heaven's sake, man, do you have to?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mason. A bad habit we pick up in this racket of mine. Forgetting that some people still have a few sensibilities left. You're right. It's not a pretty business watching anybody die, especially a nice young kid with her whole life ahead of her. So I'll go down to the bar and get myself a drink. See you in court, Mason.
Operator, get me police headquarters. Let me speak to Captain Leggett.
I wouldn't do that, dear.
We've got to, Sharon. Don't you see, Fred wasn't murdered. He killed himself. Hello, Captain. Steve Mason talking. I have a confession to make. The Carrington girl is innocent. She didn't kill Fred Winslow. Sharon, can't you understand? It would be different if they hadn't arrested that girl. But now we've got to tell.
Of course, darling. But not on the phone. We'll tell him in person when he gets here. And what he heard will bring him on the run. In the meantime, you better have a drink and pull yourself together.
I'm no angel, but murder, that's too rich for my blood. That's what it would be, you know, if we kept quiet and let them convict her. Murder. Technical murder. In a way, we're lucky. You haven't spent any of the insurance money, and the main thing they'll be interested in is getting the dough back. An idea. Maybe we can make a deal with them. They won't even prosecute.
I wouldn't be too optimistic.
Well, they're not going to do anything to you. I'm going to take the blame. I'll tell them the whole thing was my idea.
You really do love me, don't you, Steve?
You know I do.
Here. Bottoms up.
Thanks. You know, it may sound crazy, but I'm glad things turned out this way. I guess I wasn't cut out to be a crook. Haven't the nerve for it.
No, I guess you haven't.
Well, it'll soon be over.
It'll soon be over.
If I can't make a bargain with them, and I do go to jail, will you wait for me?
Of course, darling. Of course, I'll wait for you. If you go to jail.
Funny, isn't it? We framed Fred's death to look like murder.
It was murder, my sweet.
What did you say? I'm getting dizzy. I get mixed up. Hearing things.
Here. Take a deep breath, darling. I want you to hear this. I killed Fred Winslow. Did you hear me? I killed him.
You must be crazy. He left a note.
Oh, you're so stupid. I wrote that note to make sure you give me the money. I didn't know about the suicide clause. That was a shock. But we worked it out, didn't we? Everything worked out. I was safe as pie. Until you had to go noble about that silly, meddling girl and call the police. Now Captain Leggett is coming over for your confession. You see, he thinks you're the murderer now. The way you were talking when I cut you off. If he got here too late, he'd be sure of it. Wouldn't he?
No.
Wouldn't he?
No. No.
It's a pretty nervous business working yourself up to commit suicide. Guy smokes, he suddenly doesn't take a time like that to lay off, does he?
Strictly one for the morgue, Leggett.
Well, I guess it's better this way.
Yeah.
At least it saves the cost of a trial. Well, stand back, everybody. Stand back.
Hello, Jerry.
Hello.
What's all the excitement?
Look. You jump in the cab and go on home.
Well, what happened?
Well, I guess you'll have to know sometime. It's Mason.
Steve? Well, what about him?
Just to the Dutch. Out that window.
You mean suicide? But why, Jerry? Why?
That old devil conscience, I guess. You see, Mrs. Winslow, he murdered your husband.
Steve? But I thought it was the Carrington girl.
Mason called me not 10 minutes ago. Tried to confess over the phone. I got here as quick as I could, but I guess he couldn't wait.
Be a good girl now and go on home. Park Lane Apartments.
Well, I guess this washes up the Winslow case. Now, I suppose you'll tell me you had Mason pegged from the start, huh?
I hate to admit it, Captain, but he was low man on my list.
That just goes to show you, Jerry, even you can have your off days. At that, I guess you rate a left-handed assist. If you hadn't put the finger on that Carrington girl, chances are Mason wouldn't have cracked.
That reminds me. I want to talk to you in a couple of days about the kid's old man. Get a pretty raw deal, too.
Well, we can always talk about it, I suppose.
I'd hate to have to advise her to sue you for false arrest.
I said we could talk about it, didn't I? Come on.
I still can't believe it. Steve, a murderer. He must have been out of his mind.
They say love's a form of insanity, you know. Guy gets the end for a girl, there's nothing he won't do sometimes.
You're not like that, are you? That's what I like about you. Makes it exciting. Never being quite sure what you're thinking.
I'll tell you. I was just thinking this is the first case I ever had that I didn't make a nickel out of.
Naturally, I expect to pay you for your time.
Please, after the way I botched the whole thing from start to finish.
Well, at least I owe you something.
Okay.
I've been wanting you to do that ever since the first day.
That calls for a chaser.
That definitely calls for a drink.
Wait a second. How would you like to go on a fishing trip with me?
But, darling, have you forgotten the Devery system? Rule number 1, never take a dame fishing.
Train leaves at 9 tonight. I've got 2 tickets.
Just try to leave without me. And that called for champagne.
No, not so tense. Relax, little boy. All right, that's a little better. You'll be all right with a little more practice.
I guess I'm not the outdoor type. You better put this back in your compartment before I break it. Sorry you brought me.
Sorry you came.
I wouldn't have missed it for anything.
That goes double.
I'm sorry. I thought this was compartment A. Excuse me.
Right next door, huh?
Now, Mr. Devery, one of us at a time, please.
Let's try it again. Watch.
Let's just talk a while.
Talk?
Mm-hmm. About you and me and... Well, I suppose it's morbid, but I'm still curious about everything.
For instance?
Well, when did you first suspect Steve?
I didn't.
You must have suspected somebody. I know. Mr. Sapphire. Carrington girl? Who?
You, lady.
I'm serious. I mean, for heaven's sakes, I'm not that crazy. Hiring you to protect Fred if all the time I had other ideas.
Not so crazy. Finding a stooge to lead the cops down the wrong trail. Detective has to figure all the angles, you know.
I suppose I shot the gun by remote control. You heard all the testimony. I was downstairs in the club all night. Everybody admitted that.
No one saw Mason go up either, did they? Alibis, dime a dozen in my business. Perhaps you never noticed. The window of your dressing room opened right on the fire escape. Ditto, one of the windows in your husband's office. Just for curiosity, I timed the trip. Up, bang, bang, down again. 2 minutes. See what I mean about alibis?
You frighten me, darling. You can twist anything around. Getting stuffy. Let's go out and get some air.
All right.
Lucky for me, I guess, that Steve confessed.
Did he? The way I heard it, all he said over the phone was that the Carrington girl was innocent.
He jumped out of the window, didn't he? If he wasn't guilty, why did he do that?
Cigarette?
No, thank you.
Didn't I ever tell you that I was in Mason's office just before it happened? He was pretty jittery, smoking one cigarette after the other. Ashtray spilling over with cigarette stubs. So I dumped him in the wastepaper basket. When I go back up with Leggett to look the place over, there's the ashtray on the desk, all filled up again.
What did Captain Leggett think about it?
What should I tell him? I've got to make a living too, you know.
I see. Of course, the real reason you didn't mention it was because you knew any smart lawyer would laugh it out of court, huh?
Now, baby, I didn't say legal evidence, did I?
I'll admit it has a certain nuisance value, the case being closed and everything.
Oh, well, now, before we get to that, wouldn't you like to hear about the other bad break you got? But very bad, baby. The kind of Exhibit A that every district attorney dreams about. Little thing I pried out of Mason's hand as he was lying there on the sidewalk.
He didn't. He couldn't have. Where did you really get that pom-pom, Jerry? In my apartment, I suppose. Between kisses. Funny. I don't even hate you for that. I guess we're a lot alike. If I'd known you before all this, you'd have been good for me. That's what I've always wanted. Somebody stronger than I was. Somebody who'd even go into court, I suppose, and swear that he found it in Steve's hand. You have to, darling? Could have lots of fun, you know. $100,000 worth. I'd give it all to you.
Not a chance, baby.
That was the wrong answer, Jerry. That pom-pom, please.
Now, just between friends, you're going to pull that trigger anyway, aren't you?
You're much too smart, darling. I think I'm going to like it this time. No real thrill killing the others. They were so stupid. But you're clever, Jerry. Very clever. Yes, I'm going to like this. I really hate you, darling. That pom-pom, please. This is the first time I've seen you look so uncomfortable, Mr. Devering. I'm enjoying it. But we're wasting time.
Nice going, Jerry.
That's more than I can say for your timing. That was too close for comfort.
Well, I didn't want to show it till she'd spilled everything.
Including my blood, huh? So long, baby. No, fishing's going to seem awfully tame after this tiger hunt.